Long before a single European ship touched the Atlantic shores, this vast land was alive with nations, not wilderness. The Cherokee, Sioux, Apache, Navajo, and hundreds more lived in harmony with forests, rivers, and sky. They farmed corn, hunted bison, and built villages that echoed with songs of spirit and gratitude. From the deserts of Arizona to the icy plains of Alaska, their cultures thrived in diversity and wisdom. They believed every mountain had a soul, every river a story. Generations passed in peace, guided by elders and the rhythm of nature. This was America, before America, a living heartbeat of tribes, legends, and dreams long before history gave it another name. In 1492, when Christopher Columbus crossed the ocean, he unknowingly opened the doorway to an age of discovery and destruction. Spanish galleons arrived with gold fever, priests with crosses, and soldiers with swords. Disease and conquest wiped out entire native nations. Yet curiosity drove others too. French fur traders sailed down the Mississippi, and English settlers planted their flags on the eastern coast. Jamestown was born in hardship and hunger, Plymouth in faith and endurance. Each colony became a small world of ambition, clashing with the people who had lived there for millennia. The land of spirits became a stage of empire, setting the scene for centuries of struggle and transformation. By the early 1700s, Britain ruled 13 colonies along the Atlantic. Life was built on trade, tobacco, and the dream of freedom. But that freedom was taxed heavily. The British Crown demanded obedience and money, sparking anger and rebellion. Voices like Thomas Paine and Benjamin Franklin inspired ordinary farmers to question royal power. Taverns buzzed with debate, church bells rang for liberty. Across the colonies, people began to think of themselves not as subjects of a king, but as citizens of a new world. The idea of America was being born in courage, ink, and fire. In April 1775, gunfire at Lexington and Concord lit the flames of revolution. Farmers grabbed muskets, blacksmiths forged weapons, women sewed flags that carried hope. Against the might of the British Empire, George Washington led an army of dreamers. The winter at Valley Forge froze their bodies, but not their will. The Declaration of Independence thundered through history. All men are created equal. After 8 years of struggle with French aid and endless sacrifice, victory came. Britain surrendered, and a new nation rose from the ashes. The United States of America was born, fragile yet fearless, guided by ideals that would test its soul for centuries. The newborn republic faced chaos. How could freedom survive without order? In 1787, the Constitution gave the nation its backbone: 3 branches, one system, endless debates. George Washington's steady leadership gave shape to democracy itself. But unity was fragile. The North thrived on trade, the South on slavery. Expansion westward began, driven by faith in manifest destiny. The belief that God meant the nation to stretch from ocean to ocean. Wagons rolled across plains, pushing native tribes into exile. Great dreams grew, but so did moral shadows. America was expanding in size and dividing in spirit. When Abraham Lincoln took office, the storm finally broke. 11 southern states seceded, forming the Confederacy. Cannon fire at Fort Sumter turned disagreement into war. Brothers fought brothers. Fields became graveyards. The Emancipation Proclamation turned the conflict into a fight for human freedom. From Gettysburg's thunder to Sherman's march, blood soaked the soil of a nation trying to save itself. 4 brutal years ended with the Union preserved and slavery outlawed, but the cost was staggering. Over 600,000 lives were lost. Lincoln's words at Gettysburg still echo, that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. After the war, America tried to rebuild. The South lay in ruins, the North industrialized at lightning speed. Freed slaves searched for identity in a world not yet ready for equality. Railroads connected oceans. Gold rushes lured dreamers west. Immigrants from Ireland, China, and Italy poured in. building the backbone of a rising power. But native nations were driven from their lands, their cultures shattered. While steel, oil, and wealth grew, poverty and injustice shadowed progress. Still, invention and ambition turned America into a land of endless opportunity. The modern age had begun. By the late 1800s, America roared with machines. Steam whistles, factories, and locomotives filled the air. Cities rose from smoke, and skyscrapers touched the clouds. Immigrants passed through Ellis Island with eyes full of hope, clutching suitcases and dreams. The Statue of Liberty stood as a beacon. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. But beneath the shine were harsh realities: child labor, slums, and corruption. Unions fought for workers' rights, and voices like Carnegie and Edison defined innovation. America became a factory of progress, producing not just goods, but ideas that reshaped the world. When global war erupted, America could not stay silent. In both World War I and II, its soldiers crossed oceans to defend freedom. Factories turned into arsenals. Women worked on assembly lines. The world watched a new leader emerge. After victory in 1945, Europe lay in ruins while America stood strong, industrial, democratic, and powerful. The Marshall Plan rebuilt allies. The Cold War with the Soviet Union began. Nuclear fear and space dreams defined the era. The United States had become not just a country, but a symbol of hope, of liberty, and of the struggle for peace in a divided world. Yet at home, freedom was incomplete. African Americans still faced segregation and injustice. From Montgomery to Washington, voices rose: Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, demanding equality. Peaceful marches met violence, but courage could not be silenced. The dream of justice moved millions. The Civil Rights Act changed laws, and hearts slowly followed. Meanwhile, America raced to the moon, invented computers, and shaped global culture through music and film. It was an age of power and protest, proof that democracy could evolve, heal, and rise again. From the 1980s onward, America entered the digital dawn. The internet, Silicon Valley, and global media transformed communication forever. The Cold War ended. A new world began. Yet challenges remained: terrorism, economic crashes, and climate change tested unity. The tragedy of 9/11 united grief with resilience. Diversity became the nation's greatest strength, but also its greatest debate. The US remained a land where a child could dream and an immigrant could begin again. Through every crisis, its people reinvented hope, the true engine of the American story. Modern America is not a finished nation. It is a living experiment. Its skyline glows with innovation. Its streets pulse with cultures from every corner of the earth. It remains the world's loudest voice for freedom and its fiercest critic of itself. From the native spirit of balance to the digital age of dreams, America's journey is proof that greatness is not about perfection, but perseverance. The flag still waves over schools, cities, and hearts, a reminder that every generation must redefine liberty for itself. The story of America continues, not written in ink, but in the lives of those who dare to keep its dream alive.